All right, on this lesson, we're going to be doing subtracting within 1,000. It's chapter 1, lesson 10, and we're on page 45. The first thing it asks us to do is estimate. And the reason why we estimate first is to see if our answer is even close. Because if our answer and our estimate aren't even close, then it lets us know we made a mistake. So the way I like to estimate is to round it. This is a 3-digit number. 386 is a 3-digit number, so we're going to round to the hundreds place. I know 386 is between 300 and 400. Raise your hand if you can tell me what 386 would round to the hundreds place. Travis?
400.
386 is really close to 400. That's right. Now I need to round 126 to the nearest hundreds place. I know it's between 100 and 200. What is it closest to? Brendan?
100.
Say it again?
100.
100, that's right. 100. So 400 minus 100, class?
300.
300. Our answer should be really, really close to 300. And if it's not, it lets us know that we made a mistake. Okay? So now that we have our estimate, let's get started. Are we going to start in the 100s place or the ones place, class? Let's start in the ones place, just like you guys have always been doing. So this is the ones place right here. So 6 minus 3, class? 3. Now we're ready for the tens place right here. 8 minus 2? 6. Now we're ready for the hundreds place, which is right here. 3 minus 1? 2. Now let's check it compared to our estimate. Is 263 really close to 300? Yeah, that means we probably did our work right. So our answer is 263. I want you guys to notice I'm not saying 263. We should not be using the word and when we're reading a whole number. We say the word and when we're talking about a fraction. So if we have like 1.5 cups, that lets us know that we have a whole number and then a piece of a number. So when you say a hundreds number, you should not be using the word and. It's 263. Okay? All right, let's do another one. All right, now I'm going to go on to question number 3 on page 45. It's 500, actually, hold on, let's see. 519, and we're subtracting 205. What do we need to do first, class? Estimate. It's a 3-digit, 519 is a 3-digit number, so I'm going to round it to the hundreds place. 519 is between 500 and 600. Raise your hand if you can tell me what it would round to. 519 to the hundreds place. Azera?
500.
500, that is correct. All right, now we need to round 205 to the nearest hundreds place. Landon?
200.
200, very good. Now what kind of math are we doing? Minus or subtraction. 0 minus 0. 0. Now we're on the tens place. 0 minus 0 is?
0.
And 500 minus 200 is?
3.
Wait, what is it?
300.
300. So our answer should be really, really close to our estimate of 300. Yeah, again. So, class, are we going to start in the ones place? Yes, let's start in the ones place. 9 minus 5, class? 4. Now we're going to move over to the tens place. 110 minus 0 tens is? 110. And then now we're in the hundreds place right here. 500 minus 200? 300. Now let's check and see. Is 314 really close to 300? Yeah. You guys see that squiggly equal sign that I'm making?
Yeah.
What that means?
I know
What does that mean, Azera?
It means is close or estimate.
It means is close or is an estimate of. Yeah. It's kind of like a straight line equals means exactly the same, and a squiggly equal sign means about the same or an estimate.
What if it's not the same at all?
If it's not the same at all, that's a good question. If these weren't the same, we would want to do a symbol that looks like this. So there's our equal sign, and then we would put a slash through it, like that. which means not equal. Unequal, very good. All right, let's do one more. All right, now go on to question 4 on page 45. It's 456. We're doing subtraction, and it's 217. Notice I didn't use the word and. These are all whole numbers. We don't use the word and when you read them. All right, class, what do I need to do first, class?
Estimate.
Estimate. We need to know is our answer really close to. All right, raise your hand if you can tell me what 456 is really close to, rounding to the hundreds place. Yes. Is it closer to 500 or 400? Say it again, nice and loud. 500. How did you know? Four to the floor.
And then 5. Anything higher is 5 to the sky.
5 to the sky. So she's looking at that tens place value and saying 5 to the sky. So it's going to go up. Good. So 217. What is that going to round to? Juliana? No? Ava?
It will round 200.
To 200. Yep. Okay, what kind of math are we doing?
Subtraction.
Subtraction. You guys, I see so many third graders that know how to do the math, and they do the wrong. It'll say subtract, and they add, or it'll say add, and then they subtract. It only takes a second to look and make sure you're doing the right kind of math. What place value are we going to start in? Class? Ones place. 0 minus 0 is? 0 minus 0 is? 0. 500 minus 200 is? 300. Very good. Again, our answer should be really close to 300. Okay. Let's start in the ones place. 6 ones minus 7 ones. Can't do it because we must do what? Regroup. Back when I was in school, they used to call it borrowing. They don't call it borrowing anymore because when you borrow, you're supposed to give it back later on, right? When you regroup, you don't really ever give it back. So they renamed it regrouping. So if you have 6 of something, you can't subtract 7 of them. If you have 6 cookies, can I take 7 cookies from you? No, it just doesn't make any sense. So we're going to go over to the tens place. And we have 5 tens, and we need to, instead of 5 tens, we're going to make it so we only have 4 tens. So we now have 10 more ones than we used to. Let's put those 10 more ones over in the ones place. Now, 16 minus 7. Can we do that? Yeah, if you have 16 cookies, can I take 7 of them from you? Yeah, that makes sense. How many would we have left, class? 9. We would have 9 of them left. Now we have to remember that we crossed out that 5 tens and we only have 4 tens left. 4 tens minus 1 10 is? 3 tens. Very good. And 400 minus 200? 200. Is 239 pretty close to 300?
No.
It's not as close as I would like.
It doesn't round to it.
It doesn't round to it, but it's a fairly close answer. If we would have done a more if we would have rounded that number to the tens place instead, it would have been closer. Let's actually try that. Let's see if I can get this to work. So, because I agree that's kind of worrisome when you're almost 70 off or 60 off. So let's try rounding it to the tens place and see if we get a better estimate, okay? So 456 to the tens place. Who can do that one for me? Sophia, go ahead. What's 456 to the nearest 10? 460. Okay, and we're subtracting still. 217 to the nearest 10. Somebody new. Who can do it for me? Yeah, Marsh. 220. Very good. 0 minus 0 is?
0.
6 tens minus 2 tens? 4 tens. Wake up, guys. And 400 minus 200? 200. Now let's check. Is 239 really close to 240? Yeah, it is. There's only one away. So, what this shows us is if our estimate is rounding to the hundreds place, it's only going to be kind of close. If we round to the tens, if our estimate is rounding to the tens place, it's going to be a lot closer. Okay? All right, let's do one more. I know I said one more last time, but we're going to do one. I know, life is rough. Okay, this is on page 45, number 5. We're going to do 642 minus 159. And then I did this problem because I think this is a harder one. And the reason I think it's a harder one is because looking at the ones place, are you going to have to regroup in the ones place?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, because if you have 2 of something, you can't subtract 9 of them. And looking at the tens place, if you have 4 of something, can you subtract 5 of them?
No.
No. How many times are we going to have to regroup in this problem?
Twice.
Twice or 2 times. Very good. So let's start in the ones place. So, actually, what am I forgetting? Well, I'm going to have to regroup. I need to estimate. Because regrouping twice, there's a good chance I might make a mistake. And I'm not going to know I made a mistake unless I have an estimate. You guys want to do the tens place or to the hundreds place?
100.
Okay. 642, what does it round to?
600.
To 600, good. And what does 159 round to?
200.
I should hear this from everybody.
200.
200. What kind of math are we doing?
Subtraction.
Subtraction. 600 minus 200, class?
400.
400. Our answer should be pretty close to 400. All right, now let's work in the ones place.
It's not 300.
Yes, our estimate is not 300 first time, huh? All right, let's go back to the problem. 2 ones minus 9 ones.
No.
Nope, we can't do it. We need to regroup. Or as they used to say it back in my day, we used borrow. Go ahead, Emily. What do we need to do?
You need to regroup from the hundreds because you can't regroup from the tens.
We can actually regroup from the tens. We can. The only time you can't regroup from the tens is if the 10 is a 0. Okay? So that 4 tens, we're gonna make it a 3 tens. And where are we gonna put those 10 that we just got, the 10 ones?
Next to the 2 to make it 12.
Yeah, instead of 2 ones, we now have 12 ones. 12 ones minus 9 ones. Class?
3.
3 ones. Now in the tens place, we have 3 tens and we're trying to take away 5 tens. Anybody have a problem with that? What do you think, Azara?
Gotta regroup.
We gotta regroup. Where can we get some more stuff from?
From the 6.
From the hundreds place, the 6. So instead of 600s, we're gonna do,
It's a 5.
it's now, instead of 600s, we only have 500s. And we're gonna put those that we regrouped over in the tens place. 13 minus 5?
8.
8. 500 minus 100?
400.
400. 483. 483, pretty close to 400. Yeah, it wouldn't round to it, but it's still pretty close. Okay?
I just figured something out.
So that makes you kind of uncomfortable that they're so far away? If that distance away makes you feel uncomfortable, which I can kind of understand, just round it to the tens place. You'll get a much closer estimate. I'll show you. Let's try it. All right. So 642 to the tens, Mason. 642 to the nearest 10. 600. 640. And then 159 to the nearest 10. 160, good. We're subtracting. 0 minus 0 is 0. 4 tens minus 6 tens. You can't do it. So we've got to turn that 6 into a 5. That becomes a 14 minus 6 is 8. And 500 minus 100 is 4. 480 is really close to 483.
Yeah.
Is that a little bit more comfortable of an estimate?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Nice job.